Physics Class 11 Chapter 4 Motion in a Plane. Projectile motion. An object that is in flight after being thrown or projected is called a projectile. So if you are throwing an object, then it remains in the air before it touches the ground, then you call it as a projectile. For example, football, cricket ball, baseball, etc. Motion of a projectile is a result of two separate simultaneously occurring components of motion. So for motion of a projectile there are two components. One component is along horizontal direction without any acceleration and the other along vertical direction with constant acceleration due to the force of gravity. So it has got two components. One is along the horizontal which has got no acceleration and other one is along the vertical direction which has got constant acceleration due to force of gravity. Suppose the projectile is launched with velocity v0 that makes an angle theta naught with the x-axis. Now suppose you are throwing an object with initial velocity v0 and it is making an angle theta naught with the x-axis. This is the x-axis, y-axis, and you are projecting an object. It is making an angle theta naught with the x-axis and this is the initial velocity. Now if we resolve this velocity into its component form, then from the head of the vector you draw a perpendicular on the x-axis. Then this will give you the x component v0 cos theta naught, and on the y-axis if you draw the perpendicular then you get the y component v0 sin theta naught. The acceleration due to gravity is towards the downward. Okay, so it is a is equal to minus g j cap. J cap because it is in the direction of the y-axis and negative because it is downward. After the object has been projected, the acceleration acting on it is due to gravity directed vertically downward, okay, as shown here. A is equal to ax I cap plus ay j cap. Now acceleration on the horizontal, there is a not there, so this will be 0, and on the vertical there is because of force of gravity, so it is minus g. Okay, so 0 plus minus g j cap. That means ax equal to 0 and ay is equal to minus g. The component of initial velocity v0. Okay, already we resolved this v0 into x component, y component. So that is x is v0 cos theta naught and y component is v0 sin theta naught. So you can write v0 x equal to v0 cos theta naught and v0 y is equal to v0 sin theta naught. Let initial position be at the origin. So at this place origin the position is initial, that means it will be 0 0. So we can say x naught equal to 0, y naught equal to 0. At time t, the coordinates. After time t, the coordinates will be changing. So we use the formula x is equal to x naught plus v naught xt plus 1 by 2 axt square. So x is equal to x naught is 0. So put 0 plus v naught x. V naught x is v naught cos theta naught. Put the value t as it is. T as it is plus ax is also 0, so this value will become 0, so you get x is equal to v naught cos theta naught t. From here t value will be, if you transfer this term over here it will go in the denominator, so t value is x divided by v naught cos theta naught, call it number 1. Similarly we get the y component, y is equal to y naught plus v0 yt plus 1 by 2 ay t square. Y naught is 0, so put 0 plus v naught y value from here v naught sin theta naught, v naught sin theta naught t as it is, okay, plus 1 by 2 as it is ay. The acceleration due to gravity is minus g, so that is minus g t square as it is. So what you get is y is equal to v naught sin theta naught t minus 1 by 2 gt square, call it equation 2. Putting the value of t from 1, so this value of t from 1 we shall put here. So v naught sin theta naught as it is into t value from here, x by v naught cos theta naught minus 1 by 2 g as it is, and t square value from here, x by v naught cos theta naught whole square. So here v naught and v naught you can cancel, here sin theta naught by cos theta naught into x minus this g here 2 v naught cos theta naught, the square is there, so v naught square cos square theta naught and x square. Now here sin theta naught by cos theta naught is tan theta naught into x minus this is g divided by 2 v naught square cos square theta naught x square. Now here g, theta naught, v naught are constant. Okay, so if theta naught is constant, that means tan theta naught and cos square theta naught also constant. V naught is constant, G is constant. So that means this value is constant and this value also is constant. So we can say that therefore the above equation is of the form y is equal to ax plus bx square, where a and b are constant. So I can say this is ax plus bx square. This is the equation of the parabola, that is the path of the projectile is parabola. That means when the projectile is having a motion, that path will be parabola. This is the parabolic path of the projectile. Okay, so this is the one. Here see v naught xi, the x velocity x components are constant, not changing. Okay, they are remaining the constant. But you can see vertical component. This is v naught y j cap. This one. Then here, then you can see here vy is 0. So y component is 0. Here it is in the negative direction. Here it is negative direction. So it is changing, and the path is parabolic. Components of velocity at time t. Now we'll write the component of velocity at time t. So we use the formula v is equal to v naught at. So for x component is vx equal to v naught x plus axt. V naught x value is v naught cos theta naught. Okay, so we put value v naught cos theta naught, and ax value is 0. Okay, so this term will cancel. So vx will become v naught cos theta naught, and for y component vy is equal to v naught y plus at. Now v naught y is v naught sin theta naught. Okay, so you put the value v naught sin theta naught, and a value is, that is ay is minus g. So it is minus g t, as it is, call it equation number 3. Time of maximum height and time of flight. So now we'll find when it is reaching the maximum height, how much time it is taking, and the time of flight. Okay, so it is maximum height is somewhere here, okay, in the middle. Now when maximum height it is reaching, that time the velocity y component becomes 0, therefore it starts moving downward. So when it is reaching this height, the time is taken that we have to calculate, and time of flight means from here it is starting, it comes back to here, that time is called time of flight. So that will be 2 times the time of maximum height, because from here to here it is maximum height, then from here to here, since it is parabolic path, so it will have this time and this time should be equal. At maximum height vy equal to 0. So from equation 3, okay, this is my equation 3, we shall use this to find the time of maximum height. So vy is equal to v naught sin theta naught minus gt. Okay, so vy is 0, v naught sin theta naught as it is, minus g, and t we are taking maximum time for maximum height, so that is tm. So put tm. This negative term transfer over here, it becomes positive. Gtm equal to, this one is v0 sin theta naught. G transfer over here, so you get tm value as v naught sin theta naught by g. So this is the time of maximum height. Now we shall find the time of flight. The total time tf during which the projectile is in the flight, put y equal to 0 in equation 2. So when it is in the flight, okay, it is in the air, that time see y from here to here, when it comes, y coordinate remains 0. Okay, starting from 0 and it comes back to 0. So we'll put y equal to 0 in equation 2 here. So I'll write the equation 2, y is equal to v naught sin theta naught t minus 1 by 2 gt square, implies this value is 0, v0 sin theta naught, and t will be time of flight, that is tf, minus 1 by 2 g, t is tf square. Negative term transfer over here becomes positive, so 1 by 2 g tf square equal to, this side remains v0 sin theta naught tf. 1 tf you can cancel, and this g if you transfer over here, it will go denominator, and if you transfer 2 here, it will go numerator. So you get tf equal to 2 times v naught sin theta naught by g, and this is the time of maximum height. So this is, you can write 2 times tm. This is same as this. So as I was telling you before, that from here to here it is reaching, that it is taking the time to reach the highest maximum height, and from here it comes back to 0. That means the time which is taking from here to here, similar time it takes to come from here to here. Okay, so that is the you can say the parabola is always symmetric, so that is what happens here. Maximum height of the projectile hm. Now we shall find that this height, the maximum height. From equation 2, put t equal to tm and y is equal to hm. So this is my equation 2. Okay, here we put y is equal to hm and t equal to the time of maximum height. So y is equal to v naught sine theta naught t minus 1 by 2 gt square. Put y is equal to hm. So hm equal to v0 sine theta naught and t value tm minus 1 by 2 g instead of t tm square. So v naught sine theta naught as it is, tm value will put this one, v naught sine theta naught by g, v naught sine theta naught by g minus 1 by 2 g as it is, and 1 by 2 into g as it is, and tm, this value v naught sine theta naught g whole square. Now here v naught into v naught is v naught square, sine theta naught into sine theta naught is sine square theta naught, this divided by g minus 1 by 2 g as it is, and this you square it, so v naught square sine square theta naught divided by g square. Now 1 g you can cut, so you get here v naught square sine square theta naught by g minus v naught square sine square theta naught divided by 2g, 1g is cut. Now the LCM is 2g, so you need to multiply here by 2. G is there here also, but 2 is not there, so multiply by 2 here also and here, numerator denominator both. So hm equal to 2 v naught square sine square theta naught minus v naught square sine square theta naught by 2g. So this you find the difference, you get v naught square sine square theta naught by 2g. So this is the maximum height. Horizontal range of a projectile r. The horizontal distance traveled by a projectile from its initial position x is equal to y equal to 0 to the position where it passes y equal to 0 during its fall is called horizontal range r. So now here see, when it is you are projecting an object that is going to the flight and coming back to the earth, okay, and this is the from here to here distance travel that you call it as a horizontal range. So here y coordinate is 0, here also y coordinate is 0, here x coordinate is 0, but here x coordinate will be this much from here to here, that is we are taking as capital R. So that will be the horizontal range from equation 1. Okay, this equation 1, this is the one we shall use x equal to v naught cos theta naught t. So I put the equation here, x is equal to v naught cos theta naught t. Now x value is this distance, okay, r distance. So we put x value as r and t equal to tf. Why? Because it is taking the time in the flight and coming back here, okay, so it will be taken as tf. So we put the value r equal to v naught cos theta naught tf. Okay, so r equal to v naught cos theta naught, and tf value we have found this one, so we put that value 2 v naught sin theta naught by g. I put here 2 v naught sin theta naught by g. So v naught into v naught is v naught square, this 2 is here, sin theta naught and cos theta naught divided by g. Okay, now v naught square as it is, 2 sin theta naught cos theta naught can be written as sin 2 theta naught, and this g as it is. I am using the trigonometric identity 2 sin x cos x, which gives you sin 2x. Okay, now r is maximum when this sin 2 theta naught is 1. Okay, if this value is 1, then r will be maximum. So when sin 2 theta naught is equal to 1, when sin 2 theta naught is equal to 1, the value of sin which is 1. So you know sin 90, that is sin pi by 2 is equal to 1. So instead of 1, I put sin pi by 2. So you can compare these two angle. So you can say 2 theta naught equal to pi by 2. If you transfer 2 over here, it will go in the denominator and multiply with these 2. So theta naught equal to pi by 4, and this is 45 degree. Okay, in degree it is 45, this is a radian. So at theta naught equal to pi by 4. So if you are throwing an object from here and the angle theta naught is, you take it as pi by 4, that is 45, then you will get the range, this horizontal range, as a maximum. Okay, so maximum r, that means rm is equal to, this value is 1, so you get r maximum v naught square by g is a maximum horizontal range. Next we have got example 4.7. Galileo in his book Two New Sciences stated that for elevations which exceed or fall short of 45 degree by equal amounts, the range are equal. Prove this statement. So I am drawing this diagram. Here the projectile, this is 45 degree. Okay, this is the angle is 45 degree. Now what Galileo said, that if you are exceeding from the 45 and falling down from the 45 equal amount, then the horizontal range is equal. Okay, so if this I am taking as 45 and the equal amount falling down is alpha and going exceeding is also alpha. So if I calculate from here to here, total is 45 and I am minusing alpha. So from here to here is 45 minus alpha. So at this, if you are projecting an object And if you are projecting an object with 45 and alpha plus, so for this angle is 45 plus alpha. So at this angle you are projecting, or at this angle the range will be same. For a projectile launched with velocity v0 at angle theta naught, the range is r equal to v0 square sine 2 theta naught g. Okay, this formula which we derived just now, I am writing that. The angles are theta naught. Okay, as I already said that if you are exceeding equal amount by 40, 45 or falling off. So suppose I am taking first theta naught is equal to 45 plus alpha. So total angle. Okay, and this one, the down angle, that is falling down alpha, the same amount which is for exceeding 45 minus alpha. So 45 minus alpha. Okay, that means this should be 2 theta. So 2 theta naught is equal to 2 times 45 plus alpha. Same way here, multiply by 2 into 45 minus alpha. So this gives you 2 into 45 is 90 plus 2 alpha, and here is 245 into 2 into 45 is 90 minus 2 alpha. Now I have to write the sine. So if you take sine of this angle and sine of this angle, now we know by trigonometry that sine of this angle becomes cos of 2 alpha. Okay, sine 90 plus 2 alpha gives you cos 2 alpha. This is in the second quadrant and sine is positive, so this also is positive. Similarly, sine 90 minus 2 alpha, this is in the first quadrant, and first quadrant, so sine is positive, so you can write as cos 2 alpha. So both are the same angle, right? So what you can say as both angles are equal, so the ranges are equal for elevations which exceed or fall short 45 degree by equal amounts alpha. Okay, so that is the proof of example 4.7. Example 4.9. A cricket ball is thrown at a speed of 28 meter per second in a direction 30 degree above the horizontal. Calculate number A, the maximum height, the time taken by the ball to return to the same level, and the distance from the thrower to the point where the ball returns to the same level. Initial velocity is given to you v0 28 meter per second. The direction is given to you theta naught 30 degree. Now number A is asked the maximum height hm. Okay, and we have found the formula for hm. The formula for hm is v0 square sine square theta naught divided by 2g. So we shall use this formula. So I write hm is equal to v0 sine theta naught square divided by 2g. v0 is 28, so 28 into sine 30 degree. Okay, theta naught is 30 degree whole square divided by 2, g is 9.8 meter. So 20 into sine 30 is 1 by 2 whole square. To 9.8 I am just writing as 98 by 10. This 10 I will take up. Now here this, if I cut 28 by 2 you get 14, and it is a square, so I can write 14 into 14, and this 10 is taken up. Divide by this 2 into 98. Okay, if you cut by 14, then 14 7s are 98, and this, if you cut this 7 into 2, 7 2s are 14, and 2 2 cuts, so you get 10, so 10 meter. Part B is time taken to return to the same level is time of flight. Okay, so TF is equal to, we have found this formula also, that is this one, 2 v0 sine theta naught by g. So I directly use the formula 2 v0 sine theta naught by g. 2 as it is, v0 value is 28 into sine 30, angle is 30, g is 9.8. Okay, so you get 2 into 28 into sine 30 is 1 by 2, 9.8. Simplify, you get 2.9 second. Part C is distance from the thrower to the point where the ball returns to the same level, that is horizontal range. So R is equal to v0 square sine 2 theta naught by g. So v0 square means velocity, that is 28. So 28 square, that is 28 into 28 into sine 2 into 30 divided by g. I am writing as 98 by 10. Okay, so when you cut 28, then if you cut you will get it 28 7, and 7 if you cut again then you get 2 here. Okay, here 28 and 4 and 7, and when you cut you will get this 10 will go up, right? So you can get as 2 into 4 into 10, and this is sine 60, which is root 3 by 2. Okay, so you can cut these two, so you get 4 into 10 40 root 3 meter. So that is the answer for question example number 4.9. Example 4.8. A hiker stands on the edge of a cliff 490 meter above the ground and throws a stone horizontally with an initial speed of 15 meter per second. Neglecting air resistance, find the time taken by the stone to reach the ground and the speed with which it hits the ground. Take G is equal to 9.8 meter per second square. I have just drawn the scenario. This is a cliff, the hiker is here and it is throwing from a stone from here with the velocity 15 meter per second, and the height of this cliff is 490 meter. Okay, and when it is throwing, it is falling down to the ground. Okay, so we have to find the velocity, the speed at which it is touching, and how much time it takes to come down. Okay, two things they have asked. From the given question, y is equal to 490 meter, the height of this cliff. Okay, you are taking 490 meter. Then initial velocity v naught x is 15 meter per second. Okay, and vy equal v naught y equal to 0 meter per second. X naught y naught equal to 0. Initially we will consider it as 0, and ay is equal to g, acceleration due to gravity, and it is 9.8 into 9.8 meter per second square. Okay, so this is what given. Now using y is equal to y naught plus v naught y t plus 1 by 2 a t square. Put the value. Y is given to us 490 meter. Okay, so I put here 490 equal to y naught we are taking as 0 plus v naught y, initial velocity also 0 in a y component. Okay, plus 1 by 2 a is 9.8 and t square that we have to find. So we get 490. These two if you transfer here it will go in the numerator, and 9.8 if you transfer it will go in the denominator. I am writing 98 by 10 and this remains t square. Okay, when you cut it you get t square is equal to 10 into 10. Okay, and then 10 take a square root, so t equal to 10 seconds. So it will take 10 seconds to reach down. Now you have to find it with what velocity it will hit the ground. Okay, that is also asked. So when stone hits the ground, velocity on the x, or the x component of the velocity is 15 meter per second, and y component will be vy is equal to vy naught plus ayt. So this value is 0. Okay, already we have written before, it is 0, and ay is 9.8 and time t which is found here 10. So put here 10. So you get this value as 98 meter per second. Therefore speed of stone is p equal to square root of vx square plus vy square. So vx is this one 15 plus vy is 98. So find the square, add up, and when you find the square root it comes 99 meter per second. Okay, so that is the speed at which it touches the ground, and it takes the time 10 seconds to reach the ground. So we'll keep this much for today. Thank you very much.